Arjun Patel thought he'd found forever in Maya Sharma, a bright, beautiful Indian student chasing the same Canadian dream. But behind her smile hid a secret darker than he could imagine. By the time he discovered the truth, love had already turned into a deadly trap, and someone wasn't making it out alive. The Crime Scene presents a new page of crime, a new mystery, a new shock case. When Arjun Patel first arrived in Toronto, everything felt like a dream painted in bright colors. The cold air, the neon lights, the distant hum of streetcars, all of it felt like a movie he'd finally stepped into. He was a small-town kid from India chasing the classic immigrant dream: study hard, work harder, make his family proud. Between juggling classes, a part-time restaurant job, and cheap takeout dinners, his life wasn't glamorous, but it was full of purpose. He had no clue how quickly that dream would twist into a nightmare. It started on a rainy evening at a student networking event where he met Maya Sharma. She was beautiful in a way that made people pause, confident, stylish, with a smile that could cut through the dull Canadian winter. She seemed to have it all figured out, and her charm hit Arjun like a wave. Within weeks, they were inseparable. Late-night study sessions turned into cozy dinners, and soon the two became the talk of their student circle. Everyone said they looked perfect together, two ambitious Indian students building a life in a foreign land. But behind that perfect love story, something was off. Maya's life seemed curated. She always had vague answers about her family, her past, her finances. Her phone was always locked, her moods unpredictable. Sometimes she'd vanish for a day or two, claiming visa issues or work emergencies. Arjun ignored the red flags, blinded by love and the comfort she gave him. He started spending more, trusting her more, letting her guide his every move. And while his friends whispered doubts, Arjun brushed them off. He believed love conquers all. What he didn't realize was that Maya wasn't his destiny. She was his downfall, waiting patiently for the perfect moment to strike. Maya Sharma had mastered the art of pretending. On the surface, she was the sweet, ambitious student with big dreams and a heartwarming smile. But behind that soft laugh and polished charm was a woman who'd turned deception into a survival skill. She knew exactly how to play people, especially lonely immigrants far from home who were desperate for connection. Arjun was just the next name on her list, a well-meaning, hard-working guy with a soft heart and a little too much trust. At first, it was small things. Maya forgot her wallet during dinner, claimed her tuition payment was delayed, hinted at her rent troubles. Arjun, wanting to be the good boyfriend, stepped in to help. He covered her bills, paid for groceries, and even lent her money, just until her refund came through. Each time, she promised to pay him back. Each time, she didn't. But Maya wasn't after pocket change. She had a bigger plan. She started talking about her dream of opening a cultural cafe in downtown Toronto, a place for Indian students to connect and feel at home. She made it sound so real, showing Arjun fake business plans and forged investor emails. The idea hooked him completely. He believed in her, believed in their shared future, and poured his savings, nearly everything he had, into her dream. Then, one morning, Maya disappeared. Her phone went dead. Her apartment was empty. The cafe plans were gone. Arjun's bank account was drained, and reality came crashing down like a wrecking ball. The girl he loved was nothing but a ghost. He filed a report, but the cops had little to work with. No real ID, no trace, no witnesses. Maya had erased herself completely. And as Arjun stared at the emptiness she left behind, one thought consumed him. He'd been played, and someone was going to pay for it. Arjun spiraled fast after Maya vanished. The shock hit first, then the anger, then the humiliation. He replayed every moment in his mind, every smile, every lie he'd believed. Nights turned sleepless, filled with racing thoughts and flashing memories of her laughter that now felt poisonous. He stopped showing up to class, skipped work, and barely ate. The world felt heavy, like it was pressing on his chest every second. Friends told him to let it go. But how do you let go when your heart's been robbed right alongside your bank account? He started digging. He searched through her old texts, scoured social media, and even visited places she'd mentioned just once in passing. That's when he discovered the truth. Maya wasn't who she said she was. Her student visa was fake. The name Maya Sharma didn't exist in any records. What he found instead were photos of her under different names, in different cities, smiling beside other men. Each face looked just as smitten, just as lost. That discovery broke something inside him. What started as heartbreak turned into obsession. He printed the photos, pinned them to his wall, and connected dots like a detective in a crime thriller. Somewhere deep down, he knew she wasn't gone forever. She'd moved on to the next target. Arjun made it his mission to find her before she disappeared again. Weeks turned into months, and every clue led him closer. Then, one night, he got a tip from another victim. A guy in Vancouver who'd met a woman matching her description. Same voice, same fake smile, but a new name, Nina Kapoor. For Arjun, that was the last straw. The heartbreak was gone. The pain turned cold, precise, and patient. This wasn't just about lost money anymore. It was about revenge. Arjun arrived in Vancouver like a ghost chasing a shadow. The city lights felt colder than he remembered, the air sharper, the noise distant. He checked into a cheap basement motel and spent nights scrolling through dating apps, Facebook groups, and immigration forums, searching for any trace of Maya, now Nina. His obsession ran deep, almost ritualistic. He'd memorized her movements, the way she laughed, the subtle lies she used to bait trust. It was like tracking a predator who'd once hunted him. It didn't take long before he found her. A photo on Instagram, a blurry shot tagged at a fancy cafe near downtown. Same eyes, same smirk, different name, different man beside her. Arjun felt the heat rise in his chest, the kind that burned without warning. She wasn't just living her next lie, she was thriving on it. He followed her for days, quietly, like a shadow blending into the noise of the city. She had a new car, designer clothes, and that same practiced innocence in her smile. Each time she laughed, something inside him twisted tighter. He saw her with the new guy, an older businessman, another target who had no idea he was walking into a trap. Arjun began documenting everything: photos, notes, locations, times. He told himself it was evidence, something to expose her with. But deep down, he knew this wasn't about justice anymore. It was personal. One night, as rain soaked the empty streets, he sat outside her condo, engine off, headlights dim. He watched the lights flicker through her window, her silhouette moving across the room. Every second felt like a countdown. The line between victim and hunter had blurred long ago. Arjun wasn't the same heartbroken student anymore. He was a man on a mission, and the endgame had already begun. The night Arjun decided to confront Maya, the world outside seemed to hold its breath. The rain hadn't stopped for hours, drumming on the windshield as if urging him to turn back. But he couldn't. His hands gripped the steering wheel, knuckles white, eyes locked on the glow of her apartment window. Every lie she told replayed in his head like a bad movie. He couldn't switch off. The fake love, the sweet promises, the vows whispered under fairy lights. All of it had been a setup. And now, she was doing it again, to someone else. He waited until her lights dimmed, then stepped out into the storm. The streets were slick, reflecting neon signs and the quiet hum of the city. He moved carefully, almost calm, as if he'd rehearsed this moment 1,000 times. His mind wasn't racing anymore. It was frighteningly clear. Every step, every breath felt deliberate. This wasn't rage, it was resolution. He reached her door and hesitated for just a moment. He could walk away, call the police, send the evidence anonymously. But deep down, he knew that wouldn't change anything. She'd find another way, another name, another victim. Some people didn't just destroy lives, they fed off them. And Maya was one of those people. When she finally opened the door, shock flashed across her face, but Arjun didn't flinch. The storm raged outside as their eyes locked, hers wide with guilt, his dark with quiet purpose. Words were useless now. The truth was already carved into the air between them. That night, only one of them walked away. The rain washed everything clean by morning, but not the memory. What started as love had turned into something darker, something that couldn't be undone, even by justice. When the sun rose the next morning, Vancouver looked calm, almost peaceful, but beneath that stillness, chaos was brewing. Maya's disappearance hit the news before noon. Her phone was found tossed into a gutter near the harbor, her apartment door half open, a single heel left behind like a silent clue. To the cops, it screamed foul play. To those who knew her real story, it whispered karma. Detective Harris was the first to piece together the trail. Immigration papers, financial transfers, and 3 fake marriage registrations under different names. The perfect bride had built her life on manipulation, each victim another rung up her ladder. And now, it looked like one of them had finally snapped. The investigation quickly zeroed in on Arjun, the jilted husband with motive, means, and a heart full of betrayal. But Arjun had vanished, too. No credit card use, no calls, no trace. It was as if both of them had dissolved into thin air. Rumors spread fast across the Indian student community. Some said Arjun fled back to India. Others claimed they saw him near the woods days later, walking alone, drenched, his face blank. Nobody knew for sure. The internet lit up with theories: love gone wrong, visa scam gone deadly, justice served off the books. Detective Harris called it one of the strangest cases of his career. No body, no confession, just fragments of a story soaked in lies and desperation. But one thing was certain: the deeper he dug, the darker it got. Every lead ended in shadows, every truth twisted. By the end of that week, the case file was stamped unsolved. But to those who'd seen what Maya had done to others, it didn't feel like a mystery. It felt like fate catching up, one stormy night too late. Months passed, and the case faded from headlines like dust settling after a storm. But some stories don't die. They linger in whispers, in late-night conversations, in the eyes of those who still remember. Maya's name became a warning among students chasing dreams abroad. People said she was a ghost now, haunting the same city she once used to hunt love and opportunity. Some swore they saw her reflection in cafe windows. Others claimed her spirit still lingered by the harbor. But there was no proof, just stories, and guilt that never found peace. Detective Harris couldn't shake the case either. Something about it gnawed at him. He'd seen killers, liars, con artists, but this one was different. It wasn't just about crime. It was about 2 people broken in different ways, both chasing something they thought they deserved. He'd reread Arjun's file countless times. A quiet kid with no record, no violence, just heartbreak. How far could pain push a man before it turned him into something else? One winter morning, a fisherman near the Fraser River found a wedding ring lodged between rocks, engraved with 2 names, Arjun and Maya. No bodies, no closure, just that single symbol of love turned toxic. Harris logged it as evidence, but he knew what it really was: an ending, or maybe a confession. The moral of their story echoed louder than any verdict. Lies can build castles, but they always collapse. Love built on deceit doesn't just ruin lives, it poisons souls. And sometimes, revenge isn't justice. It's just another tragedy waiting to happen. As snow began to fall over the city, Harris closed the file for good. Some truths, he realized, aren't meant to be solved. They're meant to be remembered.